Yo, what's up boys? So today I've got a longer video for you guys, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it because these are all going to be players with an 8,000 personal best, except for the very first guy, but he has a 118th finish, and we went against him on my level 12 account, so yeah. And we were using the poison variant. This is a little bit earlier, so I think you guys will enjoy this. So he goes Royal Hogs and Fireball right at the beginning. Honestly, I would have went in for a Graveyard if I had it in cycle, but kind of unfortunate. So, I mean, not that bad because we end up getting 3 Valk shots, so we're like almost tied up. So we're just going to go for a Goblin Cage and just see what he wants to do. And so he's going to go Zappy, same lane. I'm probably just going to go for a Barbell in the opposite lane, or same lane, yeah. And so we'll set up a Baby Dragon bottom left and see what he wants to do after that. So we're going to drop his Flying Machine. And so you definitely want to poison Flying Machine, so yeah, we're going to poison because you just got to get it off the board. It's a super annoying card. So we're going to go for a Valkyrie to the side and a Cage to the side. That way he can't like fireball, and if he does, it's just gonna be a bad play. And so we could just chill, don't really have to do anything. I'm gonna actually tornado the Zappies in. This matchup is pretty easy, I would say. It's definitely they can definitely outplay you or get you out of cycle. And this is one of the reasons this matchup in particular. I get asked a lot why do I prefer Valkyrie? Well, I prefer Valkyrie for a couple different reasons, but this matchup is one of them. Valkyrie is just so much better versus Royal Hogs in this meta, especially with how good Royal Hogs are, so I don't want to take any extra damage because we're only level 12, so I go for a late Goblin Cage there, and we're actually going to poison his Zappies because he doesn't have his Flying Machine in cycle, so really no reason not to. Now he still has to deal with my Goblin Brawler, and I don't think Goblin Brawler will get a shot. Yeah, it would have gotten a shot and locked onto his tower, so he actually had to spend an E-Spirit. That's really good for us. And so I'm going to go for a Barbell first and then just a Tornado with a Valkyrie. And basically that's all going to die. And he wants to go for an aggressive Fireball, so that's fine with me. I kind of messed up there. Yeah, I kind of messed up there. But it's fine. I didn't realize how much damage he was gonna get on the right side. I didn't really think it was gonna be as much as he got, so that's pretty unfortunate. We're just gonna poison right on top of his Flying Machine, and we're gonna just tornado everything into the poison and Barbell to tank for that one Zappy. So we're kind of splitting up our damage as much as possible. And so that's an important thing. I'm going to go Ice Wiz on the left side because I'm baiting out the Fireball on the left side because he has more damage on the right side. And so now that he played his Flying Machine, we can just poison right on top of it. And so yeah, what is he going to do? Go Royal Hogs into my Baby Dragon on the right side? So yeah, he's not going to want to do that. So we've got him into a really good cycle now. He has no Flying Machine to snipe my Goblin Cage right now, so we've got him in a really nice cycle. I kind of messed up. I should not have went Ice Wiz on that lane, but I kind of knew that I was up Elixir though at the same time. I knew I was up Elixir, so I wanted to try and force out his Fireball so I would just be up another Elixir. And I honestly think this matchup is a little bit better if you have Poison. But I have another matchup versus an 8k player later on in this video. And he's gonna be using the exact same deck, but we're gonna have the Fireball version, so I will teach you guys how to win with Fireball version and the Poison version. So I'm sure you guys will enjoy that. So we're gonna go Barbell on top of his Zappies right there, just to try and get a tank across the bridge. The Flying Machine actually locked onto it for a couple hits, so that's pretty good. He goes for a Fireball and misses my Goblin Brawler, so that's really good for us. And we just go for a Poison on all of this stuff, and we can go for a Goblin Cage at last second because we already have a Goblin Brawler still up, and we'll go for a Tornado as well. And yeah, he completely ignored the opposite lane, so yeah, we take that dub. So another one, this is a super meta Hog Rider deck with archers, and it can be very difficult to break through. So I wanted to show this because archers are like super annoying. And so on this one, we are on our main account, my level 13 account, and so yeah. So he goes Hog Rider first place, so we're just going to go Valkyrie at the bridge, and then we're going to go for a Tornado. And I just didn't want to leak too much Elixir, and I kind of want to see what version he had, so as soon as I see the Knight, I know it's probably going to be Hog Earthquake. Well, I know for sure it's going to be Hog Earthquake. And so yeah, that's pretty good matchup for us, honestly, except the archers, though, make it very possible to lose. And so because he had archers out of cycle, we go for a baby dragon graveyard push. And the reason being is like he just, he didn't have his archers on cycle, and you can play aggressive if you have that. And like as you can see, like even with him not using archers on defense there, we still barely got any damage at all. So yeah, not too good for us, like, but at least we're at the same elixir. And so yeah, we can probably just go for a Isos on the bottom right. The reason why we're not playing it behind King Tower is that if we play it behind King Tower, then like the Hog Rider could get pushed by my own Ice Wizard, and then like block me from being able to use my Tornado, and like just to tornado it to my King Tower. And so that was a really bad bomb tower in my opinion, because now we have our Goblin Cage. He should have went like opposite lane, because now we have our baby dragon, and like he goes for archers on defense and goes for a good opposite lane Hog Rider, but like we still got like one hit, I think. Yeah, I'm not sure if we got 1 or 2 hits there, so it's not like a super bad scenario. But like as you can see though, archers are just so good versus graveyard, so we do have our work cut out for us. We're not gonna go for a Goblin Cage like unless he plays his Hog Rider like that. And so I think he's actually gonna get a couple shots here. Maybe not, because I dropped the Barbarian Barrel. So we're gonna go in for a Graveyard plus Fireball. And yeah, I'm gonna have to just like Goblin Cage at last second, so that both my towers are shooting at it. So that's not even that bad of a play. But like now, he still got that hit, so like that's really bad. It's kind of like unfortunate. Like this is a kind of a difficult matchup, honestly. If you have poison, it's even harder. And so we're gonna go in for a Graveyard immediately, because naked Graveyard isn't that bad, especially since we can Fireball as archers and we have our Tornado in cycle, so we can just Tornado that to our King Tower with the Hog Rider. So yeah, he's doing like a right there. He kind of messed up like with a bad job of, he kind of pressured. He should have been pressuring a little bit more right there in that scenario, not letting me even get a Graveyard off, and not letting me Fireball his archers. So like right here, he should have went Hog Rider tiny bit faster, because now I already have my Tornado back in cycle. And if you notice something, guys, the reason why I'm going for a Graveyard like that, like a naked Graveyard before I even have a tank, and then just Fireballing the archers, is because think about it like this: like every time I use Graveyard and Fireball his archers, we're basically getting up elixir, like every single time. Every single time that we make that trade, we're gonna, like, he has to spend more than us on defense, and then on top of that, it's cycling us back to our Tornado, so that there's no way that he can break through. And so now, I think he's gonna fully commit to going the same lane, yeah, and so he's gonna start doing bad Goblin Cages. So we predict him his archers with the Bar Barrel, and the we wanted our like all of our units to get tanked, so I knew he was gonna block the bridge right there. And just like that, like we've taken a huge damage lead now. We can just go in for another Graveyard, and then as soon as he plays his archers, we can just go in for a Fireball. and we'll have enough elixir now that's triple to be able to just like tornado his Hog Rider wherever we want. So super well played there. In that matchup, you always have to have your fireball ready for that push. So now we're going to go back into a Royal Hogs Royal Recruits, but this time we're going to be using Fireball version. This guy has 3 finishes on ladder in the top 100, in the like top 50. Oh my gosh! So yeah, this guy's really good. You guys have probably seen him on like TV Royale or something. So yeah, I will show you guys how to beat this with the Fireball version. And so he's going to go for a Bar Barrel first play. We're going to go for a Valkyrie like that because the Valkyrie won't even take one single shot from the Bar Barrel if you drop it like a tiny bit next to your, like the bottom of your tower. And I already knew his deck. And right there, if you notice, he leaked 4 elixir. And so because he leaked 4 elixir, we went in for a graveyard push. Yeah, so like, because, yeah, you just can't leak 4 elixir like that and expect to not get punished. And so yeah, we're definitely going to punish him, so we're just going for a cage on the other side. And the cage is going to like kind of do a good job. I don't want to spend anything more because I kind of knew he was going to go for his hogs. And so I kind of waited so that we could get some good fireball value. So we can, like, that was very, very calculated by me to do that play. And now we're at, like, basically almost the exact same elixir. And so, like, yeah, if somebody leaks, you know, 4 elixir, like you just can't, you gotta try to punish them. Like, you gotta try to punish them if you notice that they're leaking elixir, like. And like right off the beginning, we won the game just because he leaked all that elixir, and like he almost comes back. I'm not sure actually. This is like an older game, but it's from this season, so you guys will definitely, you know, want to watch it. You know, this is an amazing player right here. I tried to rewatch this a couple times and like understand why he leaked elixir, but I'm not too sure why he would leak the elixir. I think he just did it because he like had a weird cycle, and so he was trying to like see what we had. So yeah, we get a free dub here, and I will see you guys in the next one. Alright, jumping into this one, we went against a Royal Giant deck. This guy has a pretty good profile as well, and he had Hunter, and the Hunter variation can be pretty difficult actually, so yeah. I will kind of like walk through how to beat this. I would say that this is our matchup, but they can definitely win. Like I don't want to say that RG is like 100% like we hard counter them, because the thing about RG is that like just like that right there, like I have to play a high ice wizard, and whatever I play he can just use his oh my gosh, his fisherman, and look at all the fireball value like that we kind of had to give him. And so like we have like no counter push, so I don't know why he's like getting all angry, because I don't know, it could really go either way. You have to play it really, really well, so no mistakes. Because we can't go in for like a baby dragon plus graveyard because he has Hunter, and he can just block the bridge with Hunter and get a ridiculous amount of value for no reason. So you have to be really careful, and just like that he's already back to another RG, and so he's kind of like just spamming at this point. So we have to like let go of that Royal Ghost, which is like really annoying, and then we can just go for a Valkyrie like kind of far away so that she doesn't take too much damage from that Hunter. And I'm okay with going for a Valkyrie like that because he played his Fisherman, and so he can't activate King Tower. You have to be very, very careful versus like RG players, like especially if you have Valkyrie in your deck. Like if you go for like some type of push, or you just have like a full health Valkyrie crossing the bridge and you don't back it up with a graveyard, and like plus a fireball or something, then they will 100% activate their king tower and you will lose the game off of that one encounter. So super important to remember that. That's like my biggest tip for going against Royal Giant decks. And like right here, like I'm like super annoyed at this point because look at how much damage his RG just got, and our entire counter push is gone. So kind of weird that he spent the Ewas there. So we're just gonna go for a high baby dragon, and I know for a fact we can't go for a graveyard because he's just gonna go in for a hunter. So like I said, you have to be very, very careful. You have to have a big counter push to be able to go in for a graveyard. So we're gonna set up for a down low cage because he I wanted him to pressure me right there because we would have cycled back, but he didn't. So we're gonna protect our goblin cage. Because he was expecting to be able to fireball both the Goblin Brawler and the Valkyrie, but he only got the Goblin Cage while it was still in cage, like in cage mode. Is that what you say? I don't know. So we're gonna go in for a graveyard now because we have like such a big counter push, and yeah. Unfortunately though, that broken fisherman just pulled our Valkyrie, so this is not looking too good. So if we didn't fireball right there and force out his fisherman, he would have 100% won the game. So that was a very important fireball, guys, because the fireball was only about making sure that he couldn't pull that Valkyrie in to his king tower to activate king tower. So because I have a Goblin Brawler going down the right lane, blocking him from going in for an RG, it's super important that we went for that. And yeah, we could have easily lost because we didn't have our Goblin Cage in cycle. So if he had went RG at the bridge, like we would have had a really hard time like dealing with it. So we're going against another deck. This one I faced in a grand challenge, and in this matchup, I actually faced this a couple of times from different people, and so it's a weird deck for sure. I don't know about this deck, but I saw a lot of people using it, and it's like definitely like one of the weirdest decks I've faced in a long time. But it looks like it's doing pretty good and it's pretty successful, and this guy's an 8K player using it. So if you like Hog Rider, I don't know, maybe try this out. I don't know if I would try it out. It seems like it's pretty high skill, kind of. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it seems pretty high skill to me because he only has like Executioner for his air troops. So we can fireball Executioner because there's really nothing he can do about that to punish. So we're going to go in for a low Ice Wizard because I knew he would go in for a Hog Rider. And we will just go in for a Bar Barrel and just take our one hit. So it's not a big deal. And the reason being is because our Goblin Brawler like got hit a couple of times by his Executioner, so we didn't have to worry about him tornadoing our Goblin Brawler to the King Tower. Every time you see Executioner, Baby Dragon, Ice Wizard, just any deck with Tornado, be very, very cautious of where you play your Goblin Cage, because if you don't back up your Goblin Cage, they will get the King Tower activation and they will win, and it's an uphill battle for the rest of the game, and it's very, very frustrating. So at this point I didn't know that he had lightning, because this is like the first time I had ever faced this deck. So we're just gonna go for a Bar Barrel onto his side and a Graveyard because my cage is still up, and we're gonna ignore that Hog Rider, and it's not even gonna get a single shot. And because I knew he had Tornado, do you see how I just went for a Valkyrie in front? He just had his Tornado selected, so if I hadn't went in for that Valkyrie in front of that, he would have activated his King Tower off of that Goblin Brawler. So that was incredibly important, and we already know he's going to do it again, so now we have to go in for a Baby Dragon plus Bar Barrel to like try and force out something. And just like that, that's why I say you got to be careful about the King Tower activation, because now we are in said uphill battle, you know what I mean? And so we can just go for a Goblin Cage. I guess that was an okay lightning, but If I was him, I would have waited longer before using my lightning, because now that I know he has lightning, I'm just going to be tornadoing his Hog Rider a lot more than I was. And so he goes in for a big old push at the bridge, so I would not suggest that. I don't think that was a good play. His mini P.E.K.K.A locked onto my Valkyrie instead, and so now he's not playing his Executioner next to the tower because he knows I'm just going to fireball it. And so now we have our Goblin Cage and an Ice Wizard surviving, and we're up 4 elixir, so we're going to go in for a graveyard because of that, and just like that, lightning completely saves him. And so now our graveyard will not even get one single hit because yeah, because lightning as a spell, lightning is really, really good versus graveyard. Yeah, I don't know, that, like, just watching this replay, like, makes me mad how I was just now up like 8-9 elixir and he just defended it from a lightning. And see, he was only able to defend that from just lightning because he had the King Tower activation. Otherwise that would have never been possible. So big mistakes on my part by letting him get that King Tower activation. So he's going to protect that, or that Executioner, yeah. So we're just going to fireball his tower now because he's going to start just lightning cycling. So I cannot let that happen. So we're going to go in for a Barb Barrel. And I think I have to actually go in for a Valk as well just to make sure that doesn't get any more hits. We may just fireball his tower here. I might go in for a high Ice Wizard and then a Baby Dragon to the left so that we can snipe his Executioner. We're going to go for a Goblin Cage just to tank for the lightning because I know he's going to go for a lightning. And so now we have to go in for a graveyard because we have a pretty big counter push. And we can tornado that Hog Rider to our King Tower. And like just hoping that I can get a couple of shots here so I can get a good fireball. And yep, we get just the perfect amount. And I dropped my Ice Wizard there because I knew that he was gonna lightning, but just like it was too late and I needed to cycle anyways. So anyways, peace.